You want me to put that on my Tudor?
A convicted felon. Hello, I'm H.G. Tudor. A conviction invariably is a problem for a narcissist, particularly where that narcissist utilizes a facade. A criminal conviction naturally suggests or confirms wrongdoing, and in the circumstances will damage the facade of a narcissist. One short response to that is to protest innocence, perhaps lodging an appeal, ensuring that there is some form of campaign to protest the narcissist's innocence in order to seek to nullify the imposition of a threat to control through this conviction and the subsequent damage that has been caused to the facade. In some instances, a narcissist which doesn't operate with the facade utilizes their conviction as something that they can triangulate people with. They wear it as a badge of honor. They might use it for the purpose of intimidating people. See, I'm a wrong 'un, a bad 'un, etc. But where is this in relation to the suggestion of Harry's wife? Has she been convicted of something? Well, of course, we would know. If recently she'd been charged, it would be all over the world news. So it's clearly not in relation to something that has occurred recently. Is it the case that something has been unearthed from her past, which demonstrates that she has some form of criminal conviction? You'll recall that people maintain that she was involved in a hazing incident at university, which resulted in an individual having her eyes glued shut, which would be a form of assault. And there's a suggestion that the matter had been brushed under the carpet, with payments being made to purchase silence. Could it be that activity took place in relation to that? Well, actually, it's nowhere near as juicy. Instead, it comes from the Daily Express and an article by Sophia Papamavrudi, who tells us, Prince William made Harry's wife feel like convicted felon with brutal 10-word swipe. The plot thins. It isn't the case of her having any form of conviction, but rather being made to feel like one. Naturally, a narcissist suggesting that they feel like a convicted felon may well be utilized for the purpose of a pity play, utilized commonly by mid-range narcissists, sometimes seen with lesser narcissists, as a means to assert control over people and draw fuel from them. Let's find out more about what was apparently said and how this was utilized. Prince Harry claims his brother William referred to Harry's wife as an American actress, a phrase he always said sounded like a convicted felon. Prince William allegedly made his sister-in-law, Harry's wife, feel like a convicted felon, as he was wary of the fact that she was an actress, Prince Harry has claimed. Now, if this is correct, that Prince William did make her feel this way, then it's doled out as a pity play. But it's being done by proxy, because it's not her that's talking to the public about it, but Harry. The Duke of Sussex detailed the fallout between him and his brother in his memoir Spare, so we have another instance of the past, something that was published in January, now being brought up in October. The Prince of Wales reportedly thought Harry's wife would find it difficult to fit into the royal family, as she was an American actress after all. Well, he wasn't wrong about that, but the reasons that she found it difficult to fit into the royal family were nothing to do with her being American, nothing to do with her being an actress, at least professionally, and everything to do with the fact that she is a narcissist. Harry claimed in his book that Prince William told him, "She's an actress. After all, Harold, anything can happen." If this was said, well, it's certainly accurate. She was an actress, and she is an actress through her chameleon-like nature of her narcissism. And he was also accurate to state that anything could happen, because as we've seen, so much has. However, it might be the case that William never said these words, and therefore there has been a rewriting of history by fabricating what he has said. If he did say this, then it was within the realms of a private conversation. But we all know that Harry's wife and Harry pour scorn on that notion as a consequence of poor boundary recognition by sharing this information, which has proven part of the reason why there has been such a frosting of relations between them and other members of the royal family. We also know that Harry's wife, having no boundary recognition herself and a sense of entitlement and a rampant victim mentality, would use this information, whether said or not, in order to compel her husband to talk about it. We all know from the read-through of the aspects of Spare that I did earlier this year until I became thoroughly bored with it, that Harry's wife was regularly involved in influencing what Prince Harry had to state. She would do so because she would use him as a conduit to get to the prime aims. She would use what Harry had to write as a means to make her look good, to make people feel sorry for her, to smear other members of the royal family. It was a device which was just begging to be used by her, and it's undoubtedly the case in terms of what she told Harry to write, and quite probably what she also directly told the ghostwriter to write also. And of course, his simple observation, if said, that William said that she's an American actress, is a legitimate observation. It's fair. And it was also correct that he identified that there could be problems ahead, because there have been. But of course, those comments were a threat to control vis-à-vis Harry's wife, who believes that she's as pure as the driven snow, and therefore needs to smear the Prince of Wales, as he now is, for the purposes of nullifying the threat to control posed by his truthful observations about her. Harry recalled one day, sitting together in the garden, he'd predicted a host of difficulties I could expect if I hooked up with an American actress, a phrase he always managed to make sound like a convicted felon. He added that William was always discouraging him about even dating Harry's wife, let alone marrying her. We know that William, as a normal, sensed there was something not right about her behaviours, and he was absolutely correct. "It's too fast," he told me. "Too soon," Harry wrote. Again, the typical modus operandi of the narcissist to get control over that primary source as a matter of undue haste. In their Netflix docuseries, Harry and Harry's Wife, the Duke spoke about the family's first meeting with Harry's wife and said they were all surprised that a ginger could land such a beautiful woman and such an intelligent woman. Well, he might perhaps be looking back at that with rose-tinted spectacles. He said, "I remember my family first meeting her and being incredibly impressed. Some of them didn't quite know what to do with themselves. Because I think they were surprised. They were surprised that a ginger could land such a beautiful woman and such an intelligent woman. Perhaps, Harry, and because you're not that bright, you didn't really pick up on this, that they actually saw that there were some problems from the very off, and that their reaction, where they didn't know what to do with themselves, was more as a consequence of them thinking, uh-oh, this could be a problem, rather than being bowled over by the surprise that he could land such a beautiful woman and such an intelligent woman." I suspect that this is another revision of history that has come from Harry's wife, because she wanted to create the idea that Harry was being put upon, that his family thought that he was a bit of a loser, that he couldn't pull somebody, and of course she has to be portrayed as this beautiful woman and so intelligent. You wouldn't describe her as ugly, but she's hardly stunning, and as for intelligence, well, it's quite clear that she isn't. But the fact that I was dating an American actress was probably what clouded their judgment more than anything else at the beginning. Oh, she's an American actress. This won't last. Thus, the Express has dug into the archives and brought out information which enables us to look at the way that Harry's wife influenced Harry to dole out a pity play on her behalf and smear William by saying that he made the description of her sound like a convicted felon, when actually we all know that what William was doing was acting prudently based on the information in front of him and trying to warn his brother because he has emotional empathy for him. The fact that this conflicted with the plans of Harry's wife caused her to say, "Oh, he treats me as if I'm a convicted felon," a means of smearing him to try and nullify the control, and once again, Ginger fell for it. He thought William was being nasty in what he was saying, and, like the obedient lapdog that he has become, rolled out the pity play on behalf of his wife. I'm H.G. Tudor. Thank you for listening.